What's up, everybody? This time to wrestle with Suplexus. I'm Suplexus, and today I am presenting my review for All in Texas. However, before we get into that, I want to address something that happened on the show. This happened in the third match. Before the third match began, Adam Cole comes out and he vacates his title. And he cuts this really emotional promo. He starts tearing up. He's visibly crying on the screen. And he says, I might never wrestle again. And it's been everywhere on various social media platforms. People like Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, who have history with him, put up little stories about Adam Cole. It seems like he's totally done. So I want to share a little personal thing before I get started with the review. The first, I went to Stomping Grounds, but that's a couple hours. That was last minute. First big show I ever went to was SummerSlam 2019. Now, in the year 2019 for WWE, NXT existed and they ran takeover shows. If you're a new wrestling fan and you haven't seen a NXT takeover show, I highly recommend you check some of them out from 2018, 2019, 2017. They brought a different sort of wrestling style that you won't find nowadays. The whole theme of the show, the whole vibe, it was quite different from what we get now. I recommend you check it out. But anyways, that weekend, I had the privilege of meeting Adam Cole at his best when he was NXT champion and Shayna Baszler. And back then, sorry about that. I don't know why my computer is doing that. Back then, I was a big Adam Cole fan, as you can see. Gold Baby Gold, Undisputed Era, Gold Prophecy. And he was the best wrestler in the world. I met him, and I gotta tell you, you hear some stories about how some wrestlers aren't nice in real life. When you meet them outside. Adam Cole, such a genuine guy when I met him. And I could only guess that this was the same way when he would be backstage in any locker room, AEW, NXT, Ring of Honor, New Japan, anywhere he wrestled. So I feel bad. This shouldn't happen to anybody, but especially a guy like Adam Cole. It sucks. All the injuries he's had to deal with ever since a couple of years ago when he got injured in the MJF storyline, especially. So I am hoping to see Adam Cole again. I think he had so much potential in AEW. NXT realized that potential, but I think Adam Cole could have been a WrestleMania main eventer had things gone a little differently. So I'll leave it at that. That's a little message. That's a little story about Adam Cole. But now let's get into the all-in review. So I'll give my overall analysis of the show to begin. All in to me was a 7.5 out of 10. I very much enjoyed the show. It's this or Double or Nothing for me. These two were the best stuff AEW's put on since last year's All In, which I think beat out this year's. Maybe because I was there. But I really enjoyed the show overall. There's some things that I did not like, and we will get into that. But I was definitely more positive on it. Very good stuff from AEW. So, those are my overall thoughts. It's not like Night Champions where I had to rant. I actually enjoyed the show quite a bit. So, let's kick it off with the first match. I got to read off my phone because there are like 9 matches. I don't want to miss any. Which was for the Trios Championship, where the Ops defended against the Death Riders. This was okay for what it was. I wasn't awfully impressed by it, but it wasn't bad. It was serviceable. It was a serviceable way to open the show. The Ops retain the titles, and the Death Riders attack them afterwards. And the main purpose of this match was to ensure that the Ops couldn't make it to the main event between Hangman and Jon Moxley. So the Ops retain. I expected Hook. I expected Hook. Didn't get that. But sorry, I had some sparkling water, so I apologize in advance. I wasn't too impressed by this. Samoa Joe hit a really cool looking muscle buster at the end, so okay match, in my opinion. So the next one we got, I didn't watch the pre-show, by the way, so keep that in mind. If Hologram put on a banger, I didn't see it. The next one was the men's casino gauntlet match. This one, I very much enjoyed the beginning because they told stories within the match. We had MJF and Mark Briscoe starting off. They previously feuded. Then we had Ricochet come out, who previously fought Mark Briscoe. And then we had Bandito come out. And then we had Takeshita come out, who previously fought Bandito. I was really enjoying the beginning, but then the second half was not as good. It felt like they were just sending wrestlers out there to wrestle, and there is a story behind it. We got the surprise of Juice Robinson. He came out looking like some ECW jobber, if I'm gonna be honest. I prefer his old look. I hope they change the attire. I do see what Juice Robinson brings to the table. He brings that energy that not many other people have. But overall, this was a good match. But I think if they stuck the landing in the end that they set up, it could have been really good. So, good match. Really enjoyed the opening bit. Meandered at the end. MJF wins, and I love MJF. He is my favorite wrestler in AEW, and I just think MJF, this guy, he is the complete package. He's got the promo, he's got the in-ring, you can't touch him. And I think in 10 years, when EO's gone, when Roman's gone, MJF is going to take that ball, he's going to run with it. That's what I see right now. So, MJF wins. I'm happy with that result. Good match. And now we got the TNT title match where Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, and Daniel Garcia challenged Kyle Fletcher for which Kyle Fletcher wasn't the champion. Nobody's being challenged. They're all challengers. They are challenging for the vacated TNT title because Adam Cole had to give it up. I mentioned that in the beginning. If for some reason you forwarded to this point or after my beginning thing, I explained it all in the beginning, so you go back there and see what I think of the situation. So, um, we had this going down, and I did not like the match. I was pretty bored by it for Fatal 4-Way. It was quite boring. The IC title 4-Way at Mania is definitely better than this if I'm going to compare. It, like, I understand why the match wasn't good because it was put together last minute. Like, literally this morning, I go on my phone. It says Tony Khan announced its Fatal 4-Way for the title. So it was produced the last minute. I'm not gonna hold the competitors to it because I don't know how last minute the planning was for the match. But I couldn't get into it. It was very hard. Dustin Rhodes won. I went silent for a good 3 minutes because it's baffling. I want to start off with, yes, I saw Dustin Rhodes got a pop in Texas when he won. The Von Erichs came out. It was cool for the night. But you have Kyle Fletcher. You've built him up for almost a year now, ever since he turned on Will Ospreay. You built this guy up. I was saying he should have won the Continental Classic. He didn't. I was saying he should have beaten Will Ospreay. He didn't. There are a number of things that I wanted him to do, and he didn't. It felt like a shoo-in tonight that Kyle Fletcher was gonna win. I was actually talking to Piledriver, and we were like, yeah, second might be Daniel Garcia, but Sammy and Dustin are just there to take the pin. But it didn't happen. Dustin won. I don't like this at all. I think Kyle Fletcher was a home run waiting to happen, giving him the title, and they striked out. So, I don't like this. I didn't like the match. No good to me. But the next match we have, Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland versus the Young Bucks. I don't think I need to tell you how good this would be. This was a very good match. It was a great match. It was a upper echelon tag team match. It started a little slow, but you got those Will Ospreay sequences at the end. If you know what those Will Ospreay sequences look like, you know what happened in this match. Basically, counter, counter, counter. I'm putting it in very lame terms. You gotta search up a Will Ospreay match. If you haven't seen him wrestle, you have to see him wrestle. Top 5 for me, easily. Favorites. He just brings the energy to the ring that not many people on the planet could. So this was very good stuff. My match of the night at this point. Great match. Exceptional match. And shockingly, Ospreay and Swerve won. Now, if you watch my predictions, I said I think the Bucks win. I think Swerve turns on Hangman in the main event, costs him the title. But Swerve and Hangman won here. So that kind of threw a wrench into the plans. I call this before the most important match on the show because it will determine what AEW will do with their main event scene for the next year. And they won, so they will be featured in the world title picture. Forbidden Door is in the O2 Arena next month in London, so you could expect Will Ospreay potentially to get another title shot in the O2 Arena. So the next match I will discuss. I can't go spot by spot for this because it was just that good. Um, yeah, that's the match so far. The next one was the women's casino gauntlet match. I thought this was about on the level of the men's one. The one difference is where the men's one started hot and ended kind of whatever. This one kept a consistently positive but not very good pacing in it. It was consistent, but there are small things like two people debut. I think Will Ospreay's partner and someone from New Japan or some wrestler from Japan Wrestling who I don't know the name of. Sorry, I couldn't remember. They fought each other in the ring. It felt kind of odd that I'm watching an AEW show and there are two people I have no clue about fighting. I would have put like Chris Statlander, Willow in there, but that's a small nitpick. I think this was a good match overall. I could confidently say it was good. Um, Willow Nightingale. So don't sleep on Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander. Aside from Tony Storm, they're my personal favorite women's wrestlers in the company. I think Willow brings a little bit of that Keith Lee, where she's on the bigger side in the women's division. But if you want her to run up to the top rope and do a Spanish fly, she's going to run up to the top rope and do a Spanish fly. So, I'm a Willow fan. Chris Statlander just brings that powerhouse energy that's amazing. So, I thought this was good. Athena wins, and I'll tell you about how this factored into my predictions later. Very emotional moment for Athena. It's pretty cool to see her finally get the stars or get the spotlight because she hasn't been pushed too much in the women's division in WWE or AEW aside from NXT. So it was nice to see her get her flowers. Then the next one is the Hurt Syndicate defending against the Patriarchy and Jet Speed. I can't say I was into this match too much. It was alright. Hurt Syndicate win. You don't really have to watch it whatsoever. Yeah, the Hurt Syndicate win, but the real story happens after. Nick Wayne turns on Christian, goes for the concerto on him with FTR's help, the same one that put Edge on the shelf. Edge comes back to make the save. He tells Christian he has to find himself. So I really enjoyed that angle. One of the most annoying things is when they bring back two rivals and put them together right away. I like them not being realigned right away because it gives time to tell the story properly, and it wouldn't make sense given what Edge and Christian or Cope and Christian put each other through. Excuse me. Yeah, this was mainly memorable for the post-match angle. Match was alright in my opinion. So I'll get to the next one. And it was the AEW Women's World Championship match. Toni Storm, the AEW Women's World Champ, defends against Mercedes, the champion of way too many things. I can't remember them all. I think she has like 6 titles. So, my thoughts on the match. I thought this was very, very good. The stuff they did in ring. If there's one fault, I think the middle dragged a little bit, but the beginning and the end made up for it more than anything could possibly do. Um, I really enjoy the match. Is it one of my matches of the year? No, it's not. But not everything has to be. This was the work they did was completely acceptable, and yeah, I enjoyed it. I had a good time with a majority of it, aside from a little bit in the middle. I thought this was good work by both of them. At this point in the night, this was my second favorite match behind the Will Ospreay and Swerve tag match. And now it's time to discuss Okada versus Omega. I want to start off with I thought this was a pretty good match. My big thing is this got overhyped way too much for me. Is everybody talks about Omega Okada, 7-star Dave Meltzer reading, this and that. I get that was 2018 and 2017 and wrestlers change over periods of time, but the amount that people talked up this match being like match of the year, it overhyped it for me quite a bit. So I thought it was pretty good, but it was disappointing, the quality. Okada, this was probably his best effort I've seen him show. He was not boring. I know I've made comments about him being boring in the ring. He was actually decent in the ring tonight. Yeah, he was decent in the ring. Nothing too much more than that. So Okada wins. I would have picked Kenny Omega to go over, but they're gonna do what they wanna do. And yeah, it was a pretty good match that people hyped up like it was gonna be the Winners 3-Way at Mania or Hollywood Ending or name another match of the year, Hangman Ospreay, Cody Kevin at the Rumble, Triple Threat men's match at Mania, yeah, something like that. But I didn't get that feeling from it. But now I'll discuss my match of the night, which was Jon Moxley defending against Hangman Page in a Texas death match, defending the AEW World Championship. I know there's been a lot of things about they do the bloodline rules format too much. Personally, I like this match a lot. I think every interference is necessary, whether it was Danielson interfering, whether it was Darby Allin interfering, whether it was Swerve at the end with Ospreay. Every interference made sense, so I really enjoyed it because it felt like it was a payoff for everything that I had to sit through for the Death Rider storyline for about 9 months. And I enjoyed myself. The violence was there for a Hangman Page and Jon Moxley death match. You might be able to see some blood there. And Hangman won. Hangman to me, he is the he might be the person in the company that deserves this the most. Is you look what he did with Swerve, you look what he did with his heel character, the Black Hat Hangman Page, winning the title, and then gets broken, whether it was all the CM Punk stuff, whether it was the Elite leaving him, whether it was Swerve going to his house, gets broken by it, rises from the ashes, and the Cowboy wins in Texas. And what to me, that this is pretty bold to say. This might be the best pay-per-view main event of the year so far. This is Saturday, July 12th. This is up there. If you say this is the best, I am not going to argue with you. It is definitely top 30. They hit everything right in this match. Hangman winning. I got nostalgia from Full Gear 2021, where he beat Kenny Omega for the title. Man, it's just this is what wrestling fans live for. Seeing someone who deserves it, seeing someone who you watch every single week get their time to shine in the spotlight. It worked with Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40. It worked tonight. So, that's my all-in review. Top 3 matches. I think number 1 is this World Title Texas Death Match. Number 2, I give to the Swerve Osprey Tag Match. Number 3, I give to Mercedes and Toni Storm for the women's title. Overall, I give the show a 7.5 out of 10. Very good stuff from AEW. And now I'm briefly going to go over Saturday night's main event. We have the Jelly Roll match with Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre. I don't like Jelly Roll and Logan Paul being involved. That's quite annoying. Randy Orton wins. Welcome back, Drew. You just took a loss. Not what I would have done. Then we have what was next? Solo versus Jim Uso. Jacob gets involved at the end. Whatever. That's her SummerSlam title match. Seth and LA Knight. Seth suffers a torn MCL. I'm not sure what's going to happen with Money in the Bank. I feel like he's going to be the next world champ at SummerSlam. So we'll see what happens. Who does Punk fight? Who does Roman fight? Do they fight each other? Do they fight Bronson and Braun or Breaker? Who knows? And then Goldberg versus Gunther. Not a good match. Gunther wins not in a clean way. I don't know why. They should just let Gunther get a dominant win. But hey, I'm a wrestling fan. What do I know? Thank you for watching. This has been Suplexus. I will see you tomorrow for the Evolution review. Have a good one, everyone.